Hi, Angels. Good rising. Do I work for you or do you work for me? Some people think I'm a public employee. Can you imagine that one? It's amazing. So many people think that Trump's going to save you. Yeah, I know. They have put Donald Trump in your face for years. It's wild. See, I recognize the con. And I'm not bound by contract law. Lawyers are bound by contract law. Doctors are bound by contract law. Soldiers are fucking bound by contract law. I am not bound by contract law. I didn't sign any contract. You got a degree? You got a contract. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to ask the general public if I'm a public employee or a private fucking citizen. Can you tell the difference? No? Amazing. If you're in a contract and you're in violation of the Constitution of the United States, you're operating maritime law, bypassing the law of the land. Sounds like fucking treason. Care to comment? Silence is death in matters of treason. A silent thumb will not dispute or resolve any of it. It won't make it disappear. I don't work for pedophiles and I don't fucking protect them either. Silence protects pedophiles and child rapists. Isn't that amazing? Good people, huh? If you're vaccinated, you are property of Pfizer. You're no longer human. You're not even a carbon-based fucking life form. And if you're going to sit silent to me, then silently you can know that you're my fucking property. And it's the king's game. And I ain't your goddamn game. Establishing rules ahead of time, huh? I said something. I don't know why you're keeping your mouth shut. No idea. You're not even human anymore. I'm waiting for members of either side of the aisle to come forward and debate me in the public fucking arena, which you won't do. So I have to assume you're either prostitutes or you're fucking whores. Silence means you got bought off. Is it true the only thing good people are capable of is keeping their mouth shut? Just wondering. Can I get a census on it? It's amazing. I found out that from the good people from either side of the aisle that it was sexist and racist for me to be my own fucking employer. Holy fucking shit. And it makes me even more sexist and racist for saying something in the fucking public arena. All these public officials went deaf, dumb, and fucking mute. Isn't that wild? I'm left with the confidence knowing the only place you'll talk shit about me is behind my goddamn back. You good people. That must make me the devil, huh? Right? So I'll say it really loud for the children in the back of the classroom. If you're going to sit there and stare at me and you ain't got nothing to say for your fucking self and you're going to scound, you're going to kneel, you're going to bow out, tap out, just sit silent, stare, you're my property. I owned you properly. And by the way, for the fucking general record, I'm not a people or a fucking person. Peoples and persons are fucking nouns describing property. And property is the fucking last thing that I am. Did I confuse you with my word spells? Hurt your feelings? Do the smart people have anything fucking smart to say? No? They never do. Shout out to the Republicans and Democrats. Congratulations on vaccinating your fucking peoples and reducing them to transhumans, stripping them of their fucking God-given rights. Great job. Huh? What? You turned your fucking populace into goddamn transhumans so you can steal their rights. Amazing. Whose fucking rights you protecting? No one's. Oh, that's sexist and it's racist. We better get more people in on this, huh? I'll get the group going. Oh shit. You're sexist and racist when you found out you're a verb and not a fucking noun. See if anybody. Hey, Dick. Good rising. Oh, I got them all fucked up. I'm live on YouTube right now. And we're discussing transhumans. I said, you guys are so sad. I call my group. Hey, if they got vaccinated, they're not human anymore. They don't have fucking human rights. They don't have any goddamn rights. They're transhumans. And if you run around thinking you're a people or a person, then you're somebody else's fucking property. And if you don't have anything positive to say about it, keep your mouth shut. My nana would have told you that. You ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Shut.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, that's what's kind of crazy about that whole transhumanism thing. It lets artificial intelligence hack into your god genome and wire it in, and it's changing you real time. And everybody's okay with that, obviously.
Well, they're okay with it because they were undereducated in regards to it. That's why they're okay with it.
Yeah. Now we got Trump on stage with that Saudi prince that's murdered somebody for calling out, and they're up there doing their signs, and Trump's down and Saudi prince is up. What, you know what I mean?
Right. It's fucking hilarious. And so I'm sitting here calling out both sides of the aisle.
Yep.
You didn't protect anybody's human rights. You turned the humans into fucking transhumans so you could steal their goddamn rights. Boom!
Yeah, 196 countries have signed on to do this to their population and basically try to shove them into a computer, more into a box.
Kill box.
And there's the people, it's just a matter of time. You know, we just have to be patient. These people that have really been abused by this and had these vaccines shoved underneath their skin, they're going after these doctors. I see them breaking their windows in their cars, you know.
A coffee cup. A coffee cup.
You remember how you said these military men think one way?
Yeah.
Right. Matt's been sharing some shit on Trump. I had an 80-year-old fucking cousin of mine. I shared that shit about Trump with them fucking girls and shit. He got on there and said, I said, he said it's fake news. I said, research on it.
Okay, doesn't matter.
I said, you must have some freak in you. He got on my page and said, he ran his mouth and shit. He didn't like that shit.
And here's where it's important to stay calm about it and to say, okay, I'll give you that one. It could be fake news. But also, okay, Anthony Fauci received a presidential pardon, gave Anthony Fauci a presidential pardon. He was the highest paid federal government employee on your tax dollars. They tricked you to get vaccinated. And on the backside, Trump spelled the vaccine in. So by saying that, Trump was the curator of the vaccine, and he's just as guilty, if not more so, than Donald Trump, Anthony Fauci,
that's what I told him.
All these cunts on stage.
I said, take politics out of it. I said, him as a man, he is fucked up.
Well, here's the thing, too. It's like, okay, again, step back and say, I'm going to look at this in thirds and teach you how to bend the spoon, because I've learned how to bend the spoon by looking at it from threes. Bankers, corporations move money. Governments receive money. Right. They're not part of the equation. They're the taxpayer. They're the welfare recipients of the taxpayers.
That's right. That's right. And they want to complain about SNAP and EBT, right?
Yeah,
How many
that's them.
Republicans? That's a distraction. It's a distraction because when you follow the money, politicians are welfare hookers. They'll set up your tax dollars. These mainstream media outlets would not be able to sustain anything without your fucking tax dollars. They can't sustain
Exactly.
it. It's fucking amazing. So every
And-
one of these goddamn mainstream media outlets is a fucking welfare recipient. And what are they doing? They're distributing fake fucking news.
Yep, fake news. I just saw our newspaper just got sold. Six or seven or eight newspapers all got sold off to some other media outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
But
of
here's
these?
the thing.
How many of these media outlets in this country are controlled by left-wing conspiracy theorist George Soros? Right? That's extreme.
All right.
How many?
They're either
How many? How many? 4,200 media outlets are controlled by that motherfucker.
Damn.
yeah. So I mean, Soros would be on the Khazarian side of the two-party system. So you have the Vatican as the B system, and the Khazarian as the second B system. That's your 180 and 180. Choose. Do you want to get butt raped in the sodomy world, or you want to get sacrificed in the blood world?
Mhm.
One way or the other, their gods are coming for your blood. For your blood.
Blood gods. That's what they're. That is their god that keeps them alive. They're feeding off of fucking children.
Yep.
Their natural lives are fucking past, and they're feeding off the blood of a nation, the youth of a nation. They don't protect the fucking children. They goddamn feed off of them.
Yep.
Like you and Matt say, the majority don't even want to accept it, man.
Well,
I try to be calm.
yeah,
Just pisses me off.
but it gets. I mean, I think it gets. The more you can stay calm, and because you got to stay in the neutral, and you got to put yourself out of the situation because we're in the situation because we've let our emotions and fears run decision making. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we ain't got nothing to fear. Those motherfuckers know this
Yeah.
is the end of their world.
I
And
just
we're
look at an 80-year-old man, though, but I understand he hasn't never had conversations like we are.
Yeah, and he's also probably
You
got
know.
a lot of artificial intelligence underneath the skin.
Yeah.
You know, and he's, and I'm not saying that he can't learn this just like you and I can. It's just going to take some time and angles to get to him,
Yeah.
And angles is pretty important, because you got to, if he's hitting a roadblock at something, he's going to be a defensive wall because he's in a polarized system. He's going to either tell you no or yes, I understand it.
Well, they've been watching, him, and they see you on there too in them old lives, and they already made up their mind, But I'm trying to work with them.
But why would they? I mean, I don't know why I would offend anybody because I'm trying to be their friend and tell them the truth too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm a working man. I'm not on any welfare system.
Me neither.
I never have been. And I've worked since I've been 14. I do my things and you know what I mean? But, like Matt's brought it up too. A lot of our friends that have been in the military, one, they have been run through the jabs and they don't want to admit that when they go in there at 18, they're getting wham, 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 wham. They're getting jabbed because they know they're thinking they're the strongest men going into the system. Well, what are they going to do to them? They're going to control them first, and they're going to break them down and know that they only defend the red or the blue. That's it. They ain't going to defend themselves.
No.
They're defending the country. They're defending the crown.
Right. They're defending the crown.
Well, that fucking Soros, man, he's infiltrated fucking so many, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, money's a powerful tool. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But
I didn't know he did that to that many fucking outlets and shit, like he just said.
Well, just
I
think
mean, I know
about
he did a
that.
lot.
And then these 80-year-old people, and hopefully they're listening in. And okay, let's just go down to the local hospital. And think of that as the meat packing house. What goes in and what goes out. Bodies go out and parts go out, and there's recipients on the other end of that. And the other thing is, artificial intelligence is integrated into those systems through Cisco Yang, which is tied into your local frickin' nursing homes. And AI is on the harvest, and AI is under control, and AI is under the skin of a lot of our friends and relatives. And knowing that, when they go down there, then they say, I got a little chest cold, and this and that. It's like, okay, they gave them one of them test strip things that gives them a false positive. The
Right.
doctor could say a number of things. I think you have pneumonia. So, okay, that is done just by speculation. And they very could well have pneumonia, but they put them into the system, then AI starts taking over. Administer remdesivir. Boom. What's the nurses? I was told to do. I was done what I was told to do. And AI has no governance for 10 years, friends. And
Right.
what that means is that word that I shared the other day, and I'm going to look it up again because it's a poor word, and Congress is using this against us because we can't see everything. And we know we can only see 2/3 of 1% out of 99.
I didn't realize how many people just follow the leader, just
That's
the
all.
blind lead the blind, basically.
That's all they're goddamn doing.
And Matt's brought up human husbandry, but this word here is extraterroidal. Extraterroidal. And I want everybody to know, and your uncle to know, or whoever's 80, that in 1910, before he was alive, the same people, the Rockefellers, the NIH, the CDC took it out of the medical text journals that we had a human biofield, or aura, So extraterroidal, adjective, existing or taking place outside the territorial limits of jurisdiction. So when Congress is talking extraterroidal and they're moving constellations around and things like that, extraterroidal, you have a toroidal field. Who's under the jurisdiction moving without being seen? The IEEE. These electrical engineers have been underneath the human skin for 30 years, logging in and out and changing tissue out. And those are nefarious things. They're vampires at a high level of intelligence with a computer.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't need to come up and fucking bite you on the neck and suck your blood out.
Right.
They don't even need your cousins to go down there and give their blood and then their life essence up for $20 so they can go buy they give a month of their life away by giving their plasma away, and they get $200 a month or whatever. You know what I mean? And these people are dying early because they give their essence away. And now they're doing it. Now they're walking around in these 15-minute cities with phones and headgears, and they know everybody's DNA makeup, and they just need to be within the grid system with all these 5G towers and shit, and that technology will work. And they're harvesting the cellular structure from underneath the skin, man, and the hydrogen and the plasma to keep themselves alive. And that's what the transhumanism agenda is, as I see it today. We've always been in a game of survival. But it's crazy shit, man. And we got Trump on stage acting like he's a fucking hot diggity dog. Draining the swamp or not, I don't give a shit. That's just a sick
Bill
fucking thing.
Clinton's the swamp that Donald Trump trained.
Exactly. And you know what? Those two sick fucking swamp creatures, if they partake in that,
Oh my God.
more power to them. Fucking gross. Sodomy boys. I mean, what a sick religion. I mean, you they sodomize animals and children until they're old enough or until they can marry a 12-year-old girl and beat her the rest of her life.
You know, and one day it was Oprah that said it's okay to sodomize, molest, and rape children as long as they don't remember it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I thought about that for a long, hard minute, and then I'm looking at the state of Maine, and I said, holy shit, all the children in the Department of Corrections are drugged out of their fucking minds.
Yep. And you know what else? And the other people that are walking around with an MK purse.
Isn't that amazing?
MK.
Care about these children. Everyone is drugged out of their fucking minds, so they can't remember the rape they're getting from the foster parents.
And the mind control and the drugs to keep him from remembering it. MK Ultra.
Wow.
Man.
You know, I can't get the Governor of Maine on the phone at all. Imagine that one day.
Yeah, you look at a lot of these leather bag, alligator bag purses, and they have, you know, a couple letters on them. Some of them have a CK, some have a MK.
Cash.
What are those?
Huh?
You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of like a status thing. You know, here I'm walking around with a 33, don't even know it, and it's a reptilian bag.
We're A-OK assholes here.
Yeah.
I don't see how many respectable, smart people can't see this shit.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, and you got all the tools now, and you know you got the tools too, and just you know, I mean, what monkey are you? I mean, I'm telling you, and you can't hear me. I'm showing you, and you're not listening to me. Are you cashing a paycheck so these other two monkeys can't fucking see or hear?
Right.
You know, because there's only three in existence, unless you're the fourth. You know.
Right.
And see, I know which monkey I am.
Yeah.
I'm the fourth monkey with a crub and a bullhorn.
Bullhorn and some hemp rope.
Yeah.
You know, and this is weird. I don't want to see any more dying. I don't want to see any people dying. But these individuals that push the vaccines and all these injuries and children and this and that, the Congress and the high political leaders and the welfare recipients that have done this for decades and known they've been doing this for decades deserve to hang from a rope.
Yes, they do.
You know, whether people want to see it happen or not, it just needs to stop. And it's only going to stop by setting an example. And our forefathers set that example, and they give us the guidelines and the constitutions to follow and don't bend from it. You know, we bent, but we're not going to break. You know, I'm not breaking my.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull a funny play on words for all the men out there. I'm invoking law of king. Invoke king. Your license, I pulled it, gang king. Revoke king. Sitting in this chair, mock king. As king, being as king, speaking, thinking, talking, striking. Fact check king. Justice king, correct? It's not queen. Can you hear the king? Where's all the smart people now? Silent? Deaf?
Ill-informed. They're ill and misinformed, you know. And we're here to inform them what's going on.
So they're full of information, disinformation, thinking they got valid factual information.
I mean, there's billions of dollars spent on them annually to keep them in a slumber. You know, they're poisoning the air. They're dropping chemtrails and barium and aluminum and strontium. they have fluoride and atrazine in the water in the city municipalities. All your fucking food is poisoned in the grocery stores.
All your
My state of Iowa, I just real quick, my state of Iowa is #1 in cancer and #1 in obese women.
all your doctors are ridden full of cancer. Your doctors today are retiring at 40, 50, and they're sick.
They're dying.
They're fucking dying. Of
Well,
course,
you
they're
know,
not going to tell you that they're fucking dying. They'll keep it to themselves. And what are they going to do to you in the process? Make you sick?
they've all taken that oath. You know, they've taken that medical oath, and they're being nefarious about it.
The oath to be a hypocrite. The oath to Hippocrates, the doctor's oath, the hypocritical oath.
Mhm.
Are you like fucking hypocrites? Do you lie? Do you cheat? Do you steal for a fucking living? Are you a fucking hypocrite? Are you a goddamn bigot? Or a silent fascist? This dumb nigger wants to know.
Which monkey are you? Which
Are you
monkey
the
are you?
blind one, the deaf one, or the mute one? They all deaf, dumb, blind, can't see, can't hear, can't speak. Which one?
I mean, because there should be one asking questions.
Yeah, that one's me.
Yeah, what happened to Curious George?
Curious George is the fourth monkey.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to hear him speak.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, he was followed around with a man in a yellow hat and a yellow suit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They claimed to be his friend and wanted to control him. You know, and the thing, I listen to a lot of Canadians, I listen to a lot of Australians. You know, we have friends all over the world, and we speak with them, and we understand what they're going through, because they're going through the same thing we're going through,
Well,
just at a different
because it's an
layer.
because you're dealing with an international clique.
Yep.
You know, and these globalist elitists don't have any allegiances or loyalty to the land that they operate on. They're global butt pirates.
Yeah.
And these sodomites operate by sea. As in the whole
Arr,
sea.
arr. Let me give you the 7.
Butt pirates yesterday are corporate raiders today. Matthew found the lost ark.
Exactly. I mean, Christopher Columbus story tells it all. You know, they were just fucking sodomites and pirates that come in here to rape and pillage the land. You know, Puritan colonizers. And I'm not saying that the people here before here were any less barbaric, but this is the world we live in today.
Right. This country of ours was established by these good people that were butt pirates and land raiders, and they burned villages to the ground. They raped women, they raped children, and they trafficked them. You know, they were sex traffickers, slavers. Yeah, great people.
Exactly. Then nobody wants to talk about the crown and how many white slaves there were too, you know, and I don't give a shit, because I'm not a slave, and I'm not a slave to the system, but I care about the slaves, and I care about the black slaves, and I care about the white slaves, and I care about the fucking Indian slaves, because they're all being enslaved by these cunts, and we got to stop them, man.
So you either follow or you lead, and what if there's only two choices, follow or lead? Is there a third option?
Yeah, they don't participate. And
if you're following, then you're not leading. If you're leading by example, then you're not fucking following. Following what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just in a way.
Do you like praying for a leader? Because I don't.
No, man.
Do you like praying a lead, Froggy? Are you feeling froggy? You want to rivet? You want to jump at me? You want to charge me like an angry bull?
I don't want to follow you.
No. Policies are designed to make you jump, make you vote, make you do things that you don't want to do, like wear a mask or get vaccinated. Fuck you.
Exactly. You know, and the thing is that any of these people that have any heart left in them.
I can even tell you what they're trying to do with 2 words, right? Homogenize humans. Think about that for a minute. That's that HH. Hail Hitler. HH.
Homogenize. And they're pasteurizing them.
Housebound husbands. HH.
Wasn't enough of them.
And, you know, and this is nothing new, fellas. I mean, they've been putting these biosensors in our foods and our waters for decades. You know, they've been remote controlling people around for longer than you can fucking imagine. Steering them through their stomach. You know, then their stomach drives their heart and their brain. You know, I mean, you're, you know, look at these guys that eat a bag of Doritos and whatever. You know, I mean, it's just nasty, made up, fake shit. Then here's the thing with it. People don't understand why they have gut. Why does my gut hurt? Well, they're eating bug poison and they're starting to leak. They get leaky gut and hemorrhage. You know why? Because glyphosate, all these cornfields out here are genetically modified in the bean fields. Then they take all that stuff, these corn and beans, take it down to the Cargill and turn it into a sweetener. Then that goes into your cereals and sugars and all that. So it's just like Roundup Ready fucking Fruit Loops, Roundup Ready Captain Crunch with all the red dyes and blue ones in it you can imagine. Poisoning the children.
Homogenizing humans. Housebound husbands. I can't get over it, man. We have alpha females hunting for housebound husbands and they can't find them. Where's all the men at? And I'm like, they're housebound. They're at home. That's why you can't find them.
Shit's hilarious, boy.
Eating Tony's pizza.
I've been watching too many different personalities out there, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and I'm like, the dating scene is terrible for the ones trying to have a family these days. Oh my God, it's terrible. The dating scene, these singles events, terrible. Mostly it's just females that are showing up to those things. Overly priced drinks with high entry fees to get in the door. The women get in free. The drinks for free are on the women, and the men got to pay double, and they figured that out, so they started staying home. All those singles events are crashing all over the country. It's amazing. David's Bridal filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They're going out of business. Men can't afford to get married. They don't want to get married. If they get married, they might lose half their shit. Women today thought that gold digging and stealing a half of a man's property was a noble profession. How is gold digging any different than prostitution or financial dating? Up next is internet intimacy agents, right? Fans only workers, right? It's noble to be a prostitute today. Prostitution is the oldest trade in the union. It's the easiest one to get into. It goes, wow, think about it. All that's required is laying on your backside.
Exactly. And you look at these politicians today and what the vaccine did to them. They all laid on their back for it. And they all took it in the ass at the same time.
Right?
And they danced for it. And nobody wants to talk about that. There's billions of dollars being traded right now for these vaccines and all this injury and death from these vaccines, and nobody wants to talk about what's going on underneath the human body right now. Intrabody network. Are they scared of their body? Are they scared of their heart? I mean, because their source, they really look at their heart sitting in there at 36 degrees. It's like doing everything.
Amazing.
The only reason they're conscious.
Have you ever heard about herd immunity? Herd immunity. I think I was counting it to you yesterday. I'm immune to bullshit. And when I tell people about the bullshit, like I did with you, long term, right? I'm aware of the bullshit, Nick, and because I told you about it and you heard about it, you're immune to it now. So you, sir, are immune to bullshit, and I'll take credit for that. You won't tolerate it either. You won't tolerate it.
No. Because we know anybody that's stopping us trying to put us back in the box has either been vaccinated more than once and boosted to save their job. And these vaccines, it's a difficult subject because they have a shelf life too.
Yeah, 10 years.
You know what I mean? And there's payloads in those fucking things, And
they're designed to go off over a 10-year period. See, that's what they did with these. SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
Yep.
If you go and look at those babies that died from crib or SIDS death, sudden infant death syndrome, I'll bet you they were vaccinated within the previous 30 days.
Day of. Most of the week or day of.
Yeah, but they also have them 30 days.
Yeah.
COVID was a slow release toxin that was designed to disperse over 10 years, 10-year shelf life. So if you got vaccinated in 2020, I'll be putting your body in a bag in 2030.
Well, and there's also, they're sloppy. They don't know what they're doing. There's also placebos and things like that. But that's what they want people to be. Oh my God, now I got to just submit to the system. I'm part of the healthcare 4.0. We're the ones fighting for the people that were fucking violated.
Right.
And that's what, and hopefully people can see this video discussion saying, you know what? I gave a lot of things up so I could sit here and fucking fight for these people that stood in line.
80-20 split. 80-20 split. Only 20% of females will respect the words coming out of my mouth. 80% will try to kill me for saying it. 80-20.
Yeah. I don't know if they want to kill you for it. They just want
the gall or the balls to say anything that I just said or along the lines of it.
Yeah, I just want to tune you out.
80-20. Only 20% of men appropriate or see the child these days. It's my baby and my body. Yeah, but what about that semen shot? Without that zinc shot, baby, there's no baby. My baby. You're an incubator, baby. You're an incubator for my baby, baby. You're more like a steak oven. But of course, you're not conditioned to think that because you don't want action, reaction. Planted that seed, you inseminated. That's a chemical reaction. That's a chemical action. That's biology. Your zinc shots brought forth life inside that egg. And your zinc shot ate up everything inside that egg and turned it into your genetic material, not the mother's. And I don't even have a high school degree. And I'm dumb. I don't even have a ninth grade. Think about this. I don't even have a ninth grade education. State of Maine's under Title IX investigation. We're live from Water District 9 off of Interstate 9, I-9. Zero ain't no thing. It's not even a fucking number. Who wants to talk about it? Nobody.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
For me, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing, but the majority, they don't have a clue.
But it's, you know, I mean, it's so simple. Just look at it. Just look at it one time, you know.
Right.
They can't see.
No. They can't see. They are the Nazis. Three kinds of people. Those that see, those that do not see, and those that see when they are shown. 3.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are in this place and can just see.
Yeah. You know, you teach sign language, signs, teach numerology, teach frequency, teach English, teach dogma, teach physics, quantum physics. I mean, there's a lot of good discussion going on here. I don't know why people wouldn't want to listen to this stuff versus the bullshit that they hear every day. A fucking Pfizer commercial.
The most amazing thing to me is that people are deciding intelligence by the clothing that a person wears. That's mind-boggling. What if I bought that Armani at a thrift store? If you don't have any money, pretend like you do. And if you have lots of money, pretend like you don't have any at all. Go like a homeless for a month. You learn a lot that way. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See, you got the wrong attitude about money. I don't need the money. I just don't spend it. You get it? What? And I'm over here like, you got to spend money to make money. If you're stagnant with the money, you're not going to make any money. This has been the real problem the whole time. People hoarding money, then sitting on it like a pile of shit in the basement or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's hoard the money. Let's take it out of circulation. What a great idea.
Keep moving it. Yeah. And that's, and I live in a world where I don't use plastic and I don't use that bullshit. Because if you're going to be the bank, you have to be the bank. And you have to just be looking at, kind of like thirds too. You got to put a third into the bank and back into your bank.
What money is, how it's being managed or used is not correct. Most of these smart people don't have any money. They're in debt for their education, and they'll never get out of debt for their education by design. It also corresponds with the reason why Gen Z and the millennials will never own a fucking home. Because of money. And women are great at managing money, huh?
I know some are. I know some that do. Well,
I don't want a woman managing my money. No, thank you. It's my money. I'll manage it. I don't need you to do it. Do it for myself. That's why I have this little store in the other room. You know? 'Cause I manage money well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when when you think about the dollar and it's only worth 3 cents of what it used to be. 3 cents about, they took 73 cents for themselves
And
and
then
they
maybe
left up
dollars worth
3,
3 cents.
3 fucking cents.
And you want to know why it's 3 cents and not
Because
less?
the welfare recipients on the other end of it.
No. It had already been worth nothing, but it's actually costing them 3 cents to make it. Manufacturing cost.
Yeah.
3 cents to make $1. Now watch this. Hey, we stopped making pennies. Can you believe it? Cost 3.5 cents to make a fucking penny. The material in making a penny is worth more than a fucking penny.
It was 3,333, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just make it yeah, they love their numbers, they love their symbols.
So, right? 1 penny, $1, Chuck. The common grounds between a penny and $1. The cost to manufacture. Hey, it's a conspiracy theory figured out by a debt collector. Wow. I bet it costs more than a nickel to make a nickel.
Well, the political system's got to crash, man. Keep crashing. We got to crash it. It's so easy to see, man. Why would anybody participate in that bullshit? You got like Chuck Grassley, the Iowa fucking governor, has been there for a decade, or not a governor, he's a congressman, whatever. But he's taken $504,000 from AIPAC, and now he's asking for transparency for the Epstein files. Fuck you, Chuck. Okay, we want transparency. We want to see those cunts hang. We want to see you hang.
You can't even see me.
These
Holy Ghost walking in the flesh wearing the cloak of Harry Potter, cloak of invisibility. Motherfuckers can't even see me.
I know it, but you know what? We're not going to get any of these people to understand. It's going to take us getting in their face saying, "Hey, you're treasonous, motherfucker. You're part of this problem. You did this. You did this to my children. You did this to my friends' children." They ain't letting it go.
No. Any moral man, Eminem, will be concerned with methods of measure. Eminem, M-O-M, mom. Wow, upside down, mom. Turn it upside down. Wow. Mom, wow.
Methods of measure.
Backwards, mom. Wow reads wow backwards, just like dad reads dad backwards.
And the best part about it is we're the fucking twisted. We're the problem because we're exposing that nefarious nest of love. But yeah, look at all the people that are really targeted out there and getting targeted. You know what I mean? And we can consider ourselves targeted at a small rate, but fuck it, I'm not a targeted individual. I'm targeting those individuals.
Here's something really profound for your brain to think about. When you speak, you spit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you spit, what's in your spit or saliva?
Water.
Well, not just water.
Yeah.
Specifically, mitochondrial DNA.
Biology, yeah.
Your DNA. Right? So when you speak, you spit water. It's mitochondrially your fucking DNA, and it traps into the frequency that you're generating from your intention.
Yeah, the 4, the 3, the 2.
Blood over intent. Your blood is in your intent. It's in your literal word.
Nice. Well, it should be making some really big head waves right now because that's all I work on. You know, I think we're making some impact, and it's going to take some more time, you know, to get people to realize is like, okay, you've been lied to. I've been lied to. You've been lied to. We just want to tell the fucking truth and stop this lying.
No lying here.
No
Problem
lying.
is people don't believe the truth. The truth is a lie. The lies were turned to truth for a profit.
Yeah. You got any one of these people that you get call them out on it, you know, any doctors, nurses, and that, and they just shut the fuck up. They don't want to talk about the technology. Why do I know so much about the technology? Why do you know so much about it? Because you read
We're,
and you
op-
listen.
we're operating with voice of God technology, right? Cellular
Yeah.
technology, frequency wars, silence is consent. Avoiding the issues makes you the issue. Grow the fuck up. You know what they're suffering from right now? Fight or flight. They can't fight me, so they flight from me.
We need participants. We need some participants, you know. And you know, and the thing is, and hopefully I know, I mean, if they really can, anybody can listen to these messages, they're going to gain the confidence and the strength to stand up for themselves and not to be a little bitch. Because you got to understand, all these agencies are compartmentalized. They all work out of a box,
A box
which
in a
is
box.
360 degrees. And if they're working out of that box, they've all been forced to be vaccinated.
Hoe down. Square dancing and box trotting. That hoe is down.
They've all been forced to do so to save their lifestyles,
Mm-hmm.
which is bullshit. And I don't know why they're not talking to us.
I know. I'm over and underqualified at the same time. Isn't that amazing? I can't just say things because they won't believe them, so I have to leave it as a question. Or I have to
Wow.
lead them with questions, so I always got them thinking. But in that sense, it's a tether, it's a leash, and I'm the one doing the walking or leading.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got to feed their families in certain ways, and you know they're just led by a different tyrant.
Yes.
You know, everybody's a tyrant in their own level. You know, Chuck, you're a tyrant. I'm a tyrant. Matt's a tyrant, but we want to be low footprint tyrants. You know, and we want to just be tyrants so we can stay warm, have enough electricity. You know, pay for these stupid fucking phone bills so we can communicate, and
We don't live in excess.
not living in excess.
I don't know. The
You know.
majority don't want to talk about hoarding or greed, or the question, when is enough enough? You know, I just simply tell people this floor doesn't get bigger without contributions. That's just reality.
Mhm.
You know,
And I have a lot of successful friends.
I appreciate you, Dick. I do. Thank you.
I thank you guys. I have successful friends, but a lot of them, my friends, can't say anything. And hopefully they're listening, wanting to say something, but they got to get to the point where they can say something because they got to tell the tyrant above them,
I quit.
fuck you.
Right. And this is part of the idea that I started telling, you know, I had 6 kids in here, like 15 to 20 years of age, so just coming out of high school or going into high school in that range. And I asked them, I said, what do you guys want to do in the school? Do you want to work for someone other than yourself or work for yourself? See what I did there, Dick? Because the public education system did what?
They only gave them one choice. You're gonna work for one of these corporations.
Because the education is controlled by those corporations. And the corporations need you to want to go to work for them. God,
Or do you really want, or do you want to go work for the
great
bank?
company from scratch. I mean, it's amazing. What prevents a child from starting a lawn mowing business and putting his name on a business card at 15? Parents should be encouraging that kind of behavior, but they don't. You know, uh, it could be. It just it doesn't really matter. Whatever the kid wants to do, it could be a lemonade stand. It could be. You have no idea. Maybe they're just a labor hand.
I mean, plumbing's a great trade. Electrician's a great trade. HVAC's a great trade. Those are trades are such a wonderful thing. Roofing, siding, carpentry.
Right.
I mean, Christ was a carpenter, and he got to talk all day. He got to work and talk all day.
In native cultures, the children played musical chairs with the families within the community. This is beyond the way we do things today. And when you look at these ideas from then now, it's like they had it right. They had it right. All the children shifted from family. They'd spend time with each family in the community. Native philosophy was it takes the community to raise a child, or is the child raising the community?
And that's so true,
But by the time these children are grown, they know everything that everyone knows in the community because they circulate and they're spending time with each family. And so they learn all the trades.
I've worked with a lot, and this is coming from me, in that same respect. I've worked with a lot of different plumbers over the years, and a lot of them were good, and a lot of them were. Some of them were just fucking stinky and fucking retarded as fuck. But I'll tell you what, I could always get something good from every one of them. I always pick something up from every one of them. Because everybody's seen it done a different way. And there's a million different ways to plumb a house. There's a million different ways to route a pipe through something. There's better ways than others. And there's better ways to cut things, move things, strap things, move around. But I'll tell you what, working with different guys over the years, you really see some cool shit, And look at if I would have had known what I know now, just knowing the 9 in those situations, I would have been a better plumber. And I've always worked with 90s, 60s, 22 and a halves, 45s, 180s, 360s, a lot of angles.
If I didn't go out of state and contract with Halliburton and the oil field when I was a young man, I'd be just like everybody else.
You've had life experience.
That's just one small piece of it, but it caused me to leave from Maine to go all the way to Wyoming. Seen a lot of country. I'm not actually happy about what I saw, but who gives a shit about that? I've been at Niagara Falls. It looks beautiful on TV. It's a darn shame they don't just show you the sewage plant in the background, floating it. Fucking scared the shit out of me. It's a toxic waste dump.
At Niagara Falls there?
Yeah. They show you the drop, but in the background there's a sewage plant that you never see on TV. How disappointing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember that guy went over that with a barrel. People had some balls back in the day. I'm going to go over that thing in a barrel.
Right? Monkeys in a barrel.
Send me over the falls. Imagine that.
You ever tried running in a barrel?
Well, I've seen those things like at a carnival or whatever. They had a big plank deal. You can get them spinning, running them like a big frickin' mouse wheel. But no, I've never put a barrel on with legs and tried to run with a barrel around me, like a barrel race.
Somebody else did. This was 11 years ago, right? Human lupus. You can Google it. The guy's name is Damian Walters.
Bill Gates presents Damian Walker to Loop the Loop because he has Pepsi.
I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick.
He's going to do it on a BMX bike?
No, by foot. You gotta run it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep your angle going right. Oh, wow. He's getting close. I mean, he only had to be going 8 mile an hour, a little over 8 to be at the top. That's cool. Yeah, he could if he could have done a little more vertical at the end there, it'd have been perfect.
That was 11 years ago. I think he's done it a couple other times since then, but
Oh,
that clip's no, he's Damian Walters. He's a parkour runner.
it'd be easier if it'd be bigger for him. You know what I mean? If they could make it a little taller. Such a tight circle to, you know, he's basically doing a flip and keeping his legs moving at the same time. Pretty wild.
No, it is wild. It is very wild. It's very wild that no one wants to talk about the long term effects of COVID and what it's going to do to society because 80% of you vaccinated for it and 20% did not. (80-20). This made me understand that 80% of people are obedient, submissive. They don't question. They don't challenge authority. Conformists. Conform to policies, procedures, and protocols pushed by propaganda, thinking they're protected by the police. But the police protect policies, procedures, and protocols. They don't protect the good persons at all.
They're protecting the cubes. They're cube protectors. You know, they're protecting the box in the 360 box, man.
Wild.
Everybody lives in the 360 box, and we got to get them out of the box.
Step outside the box. Outside the box.
Yeah. Well, 4-3. You know, look at it this way, Matt. 432. You know, a square box is 360. A triangle,
Right.
everybody's going to say it's got 3 sides, but it's got 4 sides. Then if you look at a triangle in a box, and remember, you remember 432 is 9. You know, that's some pretty powerful. Those three numbers are powerful. 432. That's all you need. And the circle and the triangle and a square. You have the angles that are needed. But yeah, when you can put quantum physics in motion, I think our quantum physics in motion is counterclockwise, and everything AI and the computer system works left to right in a clockwise motion.
Or back spinning.
Or back spinning. Fucking amazing, isn't it?
No. I started seeing political science as pool. Playing pool. PP. Political parties. PP. Pencil pushing peckerheads. Pricks. PP.
Yeah.
Sugar prey. PP.
They're just a bunch of little Prince Alberts. They got the crown on. They don't even know where it's at. It's on their little frickin' dick.
Prick.
Working for the queen, working for the queen. They don't even know they're working for the crown. And the crown's the Vatican. And you know what I mean?
It's amazing. They want the men to be queens and the women to be kings.
Yeah, androgynous. Androgyny, it's just fucking gross.
Parents, when you send your children to university, they come home confused about their gender.
And a lot of parents don't know, when they send their children to college, they're taking out mortgages for their homes, and they're sending them to colleges, and they're like, I want to be an electrical engineer. Well, they're teaching their children how to log in and out of their human body for a paycheck. And these kids get out of college making $250,000 a year, big deal. Yeah, they're driving a Mercedes, and they're going to these fusion centers, logging in and out of human bodies. And they're doing it at all the local universities. Purdue, Michigan, Iowa State, Iowa, Syracuse, Georgetown, MIT, and all the Ivy Leagues. If you look at these colleges, anybody has Google, right? Google IEEE, Ohio State. You're gonna find a group in an organization of young women and children doing that shit. Mm-hmm. What Sabrina Wallace is teaching.
I'm the hitchhiker, and I have the keys to the universe. I'm looking outside, right? In Rome, it's up or down, live or die, simplify.
Yeah.
I'm really scratching my head these days because that's all I ever see is these thumbs up. What the fuck does that even mean? Fucks to do. Very confused.
I think they're just giving you positive. They're telling you you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work.
Come on, man.
Come on. Can't you see I recognize the shaman? Come on, man. Let's go. Shenanigans. Bullshit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying now?
Everybody's polarized right now. Everybody's polarized looking at Donald Trump thinking, I can't
I'm
say no.
I'm transmitting, right?
You know, I can't say no to that because I voted for that. Well, he has deceived the fucking masses. How's it going?
Hey, Chad.
Hey, Grand Rising, everybody.
We're trying to figure out if anybody's got any hemp rope because we're calling for treason for a reason.
Yeah, all right, all right.
And
So-
these
80% of the people in the world are no longer human beings, they're transhumans. And this happened without their permission or informed consent. See, I'm thinking real smart here. I'm pretty sure he didn't recognize the full consequences of getting vaccinated before he did it. You're no longer human, you're transhumans, and in the process of being converted to transhumanism, you've now been stripped of all your rights. You don't have any rights. You don't have any rights at all. You're actually somebody's fucking property. And people and persons are nouns, and nouns are possessions. They're not living beings. Living beings are verbs. So I would no longer refer to myself as a people or a person because that's a noun, and that means you're somebody else's fucking possession. So how do you feel about that one? Feel free to express yourself and don't get polarized into a black or white box because you describe this position. Whoa! Where did that come from? Scripture? God or the devil?
Oh,
It's amazing stuff, huh? This is what happens when you use the king's language. You start talking as king, talk king, speak king as king, address king when thinking, speaking, talking, address the king, talk king. Huh? Whoa, too many king words cause the king to occur. This applies to shocking, acting, breaking, right? Shocking, striking, mocking, masking, faking stupidity for the intelligence community. Huh? Tell me. Words are fun, aren't they, Chuck King? When walking, you should remember to walk as king because king's in walk king. Where's the king? King's in everything, huh? Cooking, baking, drinking, smoking, choking, poking, rebuking, invoking, mocking, macking. Look, king, king. Ships will be sinking because I was told that loose lips sink ship.
right.
amazing. You know what we're doing now? We're babbling. Babies babble. Gucci goo. Goo goo gaga. We're just babbling, bullshitting, shooting the shit. Do you believe it or not? I don't know. You should. I would if I was you. You know? Discussing some very important things, right? Lots of important information in these streams, right? Working the language of king, working. Prostitutes twerk king on a pole, shaking their booty. Shake king, twerk king, check king, cash king, hijack king. Right, we're hijacking. Look, changed the language, and look what happened. Offended everybody. But they wouldn't deny the king, top king. See? When you understand language of king, you wind up becoming undisputable. No one argues with you. They don't want to argue with you. We got to address you as Dick King or Chuck King, you know, fuck King around. What are we doing? We're just shooting the shit right now. Bullshit is an art form.
Well, it's paid. It's, you know, it pays some to lie to bullshit. And they kill, and you know, they kill and they profit off killing for fun, you know, and they lie about it and they have fun with it.
Yeah,
and they get back on stage and do it again.
Right. And I've been running down these rabbit holes all my life since 9/11 as a teenager. You know, and always doing my own research. But as a kid, I was very soaked into mythology, Merlin and King Arthur, and you know, none of that shit's real, right? So, logic says it is. It's wild because words are spells, and propaganda is a form of spell. And as a king, when you're writing a sentence, you're passing judgment. You're judging. When you react with your emotions are past your judgment, discernment. People don't have discernment. They're emotional. You're irrational and illogical, especially women. Nothing personal. I just recognize it for 25 years and say it was marketing. And even Crowley said it. Men are being led by emotional women.
Well, and that's a metaphor. That's an androgynous metaphor. Think about it.
It is. It is. And I started recognizing the counterbalance. And I started recognizing how Eastern religions were exactly counter to Western. In Western society, God is a male figure, and in Eastern religion, God is a mother. Gnosticism said God has no image. I find that more accurate.
I do too.
God is a voice in the dark that you'll never see the face of. God operates in the dark. God does not operate in the limelight. God doesn't want you falling down on stage playing to Jesus in front of a crowd. God's not down with that shit. God doesn't want you to pray. When you are praying, you are preyed upon. It's amazing, right? You're praying on your knees, and then a priest puts his hand on you while he's fucking feeding off you, praying off you. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Taking your fucking energy.
You guys ever read The Enigma of the Pig by Guy Anderson?
No.
Amazing. You'll never eat pork again. We share 99% of the same DNA as pork. You know, we have the same eyes, same characteristics as pork or as a pig. And I'm not going to eat a pig because I'm not going to. I don't know. I'm just not going to eat pork anymore for that reason, because I read The Enigma of the Pig by Guy Anderson. And it's fucking profound. And we also share 50% of our DNA is the same as cabbage. Make that make sense. You know, so there's something to be said about that, how we share the same traits with that. So what did he say? What would you think about all these pigs that are running around out there that have the same soul as you and I, but they're trapped in those vessels because they're in hell and they're going to get cannibalized by
When I was young, my father fed us everything, you know, chicken, pork, everything, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just thinking out loud.
I wean myself off of a lot of things. I don't like a lot of bread unless it's bakery. You know, like over here they got free bakery just a day old. That day doesn't bother me any. 1 day old out of the bakery, fresh, you know, made. The stuff that's coming in overseas, and you become more conscious.
Man, they're putting fucking human hair in bread, gentlemen. You know, they're trying to get people to cannibalize any way they can. So I suggest you if you eat bread, find a woman or whoever can make some sourdough bread and trade for a loaf of bread for your fucking meal for the week, and just eat some sourdough. Because it's living biome and it's living gut bacteria, and you know, and if it's somebody that's making good living bread, don't be eating that dead shit from fucking these bakeries, because that's the problem with the tars and the wheats. You're going to get the same gut rot by eating those genetically modified grains, just because they have glyphosate in them. And in the end, you know, I mean. And when that shit can sit on the counter for 9 months and not mold, you know, what's the difference between that fucking loaf of bread coming out of that genetically modified bakery versus McDonald's bun?
Yeah.
You know, we're basically instead of waiting till you die to be pickled, they're pickling us before you're dead. They're pre-pickling. They're already putting the formaldehyde in the body without it even being dead.
Yeah. We had uniforms here at the mine. They put formaldehyde in the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
We had to wear it.
You know what a lot of your commercial cleaners have in them? Glycol. You know what glycol is used for? Building block for the network. Intra-body network.
Wow.
Huh.
Now how I know that?
Yeah.
I look at the patents and the procedures of what they're doing, and when I find something that interests me, like glycol, I figure out what they're using it for. You know, and they're using, you know, and it's all part of that, and it might have a little something to do with the fucking blood clots. You know, with all that stuff, you know, and when you take mercury and aluminum and these chemicals, and you look at the chemical reactions in the elements here, you know, you can take a plate of aluminum and I can take a drop of mercury and drop that on there. And you've all been to the fireworks stand and had the little black snakes, and it just starts growing.
Right.
And that's what the aluminum does. You know, those, you know, okay. Think about the Academy Awards when that gal was wearing that fucking hair that was just red up like that. You know, and that was, she was like being meat suit feet, and, you know what I mean? Those meat curtain feet and shit like that. Those Hollywood actors. That one had that hair that was just like, that's what it looks like, just straight. You know how like pyrite grows in just a straight sheer form. That's what aluminum and mercury do when they're together. They build like a Gothic looking structure, and that's what's happening in the body. Then if they can get that past the brain barrier and get it in, you know, there's a block between the blood and to get up into the brain barrier, but they found a way to get that through there now. These chemicals, you know. Fucking biology is amazing, man. I mean, we're made up of biology. We're all, you know, we're living water. We're running on the 432 as much as we can.
Right?
Yeah.
There's biology, which is microorganisms, you know, just, and we're immortal because how many times you change your liver out in your lifetime? How many new lungs you get? How many, you know, these cells shed and replicate, and you know what I mean? We're born again time and time over without even really knowing it. You know what I mean? So you get a new chance all the time until the extent where you're like, I poisoned my stuff enough where my liver can't repair itself anymore, or my lung can't fix itself because I'm not giving it the salts and the oils that it needs. I'm only giving it fucking Chinese hair and fake wheat and food, man. It's really sad if you knowing what you know and just say, I'm gonna go spend $100 and buy the best food in the grocery store for me and my woman tonight, and I'm going to prepare her the finest meal to give her the nourishment she could get. You're going to struggle with it because there's so many genetically modified ingredients in there, and it's all part of getting the nanotechnology and shit on us too, because those motherfuckers that left Germany were eugenics scientists, and they were chemists, and they were all that. Where did they go? Went to the fucking goddamn General Mills, and they went to the Quaker Oats and places like that behind the scenes, putting the dyes in there, you know, making it fun and fruity and fantastic.
Yeah, we didn't beat the Nazis, we became them.
Paperclip. One of paperclip. That's what my brother.
Yeah.
Without our consent, you know.
Right.
You know, and they only hung 12 people.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Von Braun.
The rest of them went to Wisconsin and all that. And that's where, like Sabrina talks about, she's up in Whitewater, underground IBM computers. Nobody wants to talk about them. What do? Their jobs. Now you look at what's been happening in Ukraine, Israel, Argentina.
All that.
You know, 111. Just think about 111 now. 111. That's an amazing number. Ones and 11s, because you know, if you find the ones and 11s, you know, can find both sides of you find the 9 and you know they've been kicked out, and this is the 111th time. 111. This is the end of it, man. I'm fucking done with these motherfuckers.
Right on. Yeah.
You know? And in Israel, same deal. They can fucking fence themselves in. DC can fence themselves in. These are small little fucking food stamp fucking nations that are in under everybody's skin, because Israel's leading the biodigital convergence, by the way. Isn't that interesting?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So not only the American federal government is the largest welfare recipient of the taxpayers, as Matt's explained that very well. Now Israel's the second tier of that, of the welfare system. And we're to fucking not say anything about it because we're the Semites, because he brews the best coffee. 9. And that's Jesus. I mean, and Jesus is looking out for the children. And these sodomites, you know, they practice sodomy until they can club a young woman to marry him and beat her the rest of her life. You know, and that's the Islam way. And that's not protecting a mother or a child.
Yeah.
I don't think so. You know, it's ridiculous seeing these 67-year-old men marrying these children. And that's the same fucking Kabbalistic no-high law that these fucking faggots are over there in the White House thinking they're going to implement on our daughters and children.
Right. This clip
I got
here,
fucking news for them.
this clip here is called 4590. Grace made this recording 4.5 years ago.
You know, and the thing is, all these Freemasons running around their own little communities getting fucking butt fucked for the paycheck. They're bowing to Islam. They don't even know it. Islam's not a fucking religion. It's a movement, and that's why fucking Elon and everybody else is doing shit like that. It's a one world religion.
I'll be back. I gotta handle some business.
All right.
All right.
Take care,
I'll be
Chad.
back.
Have a good day.
All right. Later, guys.
Your time is your money. Notice in Hilarian's hands, he's holding the serpent. In Christianity, that's your Kundalini, or that's Jacob's ladder. Your genetics, right?
Yes.
The Jews. But we're conditioned to think that these things are evil. Serpents are evil. But this is serpent energy, which is actually traveling up and down your spine. It's inside of you. It's not outside of you. It's inside of you. That's the irony in the situation. You're looking for source of energy. It's inside of you. It's best expressed through money, right? Let me explain. When you're laboring for other than yourself, you're exchanging your time for another man's money. That's for etiquette of money. Proper. That doesn't make it good or bad. It's just it's an instrument, but we've corrupted it. We think that money is the most valuable thing, but the most valuable thing is your time. Lost sight of yourselves and your time in the pursuit of money.
Inky. Inky on the soul, right out of the gate. People understand those parables are put into play by acts and measures. it gets real quick. And if people are interested in saving their own soul, they should pay attention to the angles and measures.
As a strategist, I'm sitting here looking at the whole situation, realizing you can't change anything from the outside. You have to change it from the inside. Everybody wants to change the ship. They don't want to fix the ship, repair the ship, or anything a normal captain would do for his ship, you know? They'd rather bail, bounce, jump, ship, run away. I call it escapism, right?
Well, think about it, man. People are stumped because they have artificial intelligence underneath their skin, and they're kind of spinning in motion like Grok or any of these other artificial intelligence that you can just lock down by giving it. You know what I mean? They can't even keep up with the way we're talking and thinking.
No.
Tries to, but it'd sit there and like they couldn't answer what we're telling or what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
No.
Because it's programmed not to, and who else is programmed not to?
Everyone.
People, everyone. They can't understand the words that are coming out of our mouth that are in play.
No. And so I started thinking about this, and I present certain kinds of questions as an exercise for the brain. How many words do you know? It's a great question.
I might as well start going by General Dick Tickle, because General Flynn ain't telling the fucking real truth. He's a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? All these fucking people are gatekeeping the biodigital convergence and all this technology and everything that's going on to trap their soul into this beast system. One or two. You got one or two choices. You're going to get the fucking Vatican, or you're going to get the Khazarians. You want to get butt fucked? You want to get your blood drained?
I don't want butt fucked.
I don't want either. I ain't going to either one of them fucking 360s.
Either one, yeah.
I don't like either one.
Fuck no. So that's why we're gonna exactly.
No, I don't like either one of those ideas.
No. And that's what I was trying to tell Sky, you know. He's given up. I haven't given, because I know the Constitution and I know where I stand in my state. You know, until I can defend my state, I can't go to her state and defend her constitutional rights. You know what I mean? But we're not federal agents, and we don't fucking work for a fucking federal foreign entity. And the federal government is a welfare fucking recipient of the Federal Reserve Act. You know, I mean, who are we fucking joking here?
Right.
I'm not a joker. I'm not playing their jokes anymore, you know.
No.
I'm not acting along.
No.
And we have all the traction.
Right. Right.
Of the action.
When you put the environment before yourself, because most of us try to want to make this place better than it was when we got here. That's the intent. That's the idea. You always want better for your children, so naturally you want to leave the world better than you left it.
Yeah, that's the flower. That's a life. That's a life cycle.
But what I started realizing is that we don't manage the land correctly. We think that natural resources are limited, and that's a falsity. What prevents us from replanting the trees that we perpetually cut down? That would be the responsible attitude. Or cleaning the fucking waterways. We don't want to do those things. We don't want to take care of the land. Right? And then there's a mess here, and you look at the mess, and no one wants to take care of the mess, and the place is a mess, and the Christians look at the mess, and they're like, I'm going to go over to Africa and save them from the mess they're in. Because I can't do anything about the mess here.
Yeah, and that's so important to look at your own community versus outwards, and that's what everybody they got you in a box trying to look out of the box.
So I'm like, they want to look everywhere but here. I caused a problem right in front of your face, and then looking to solve the problem. But how do you solve a problem without the source of the problem?
You have to pick up the problem. You have to pick up the problem. And that's no different than walking down the street seeing a fucking Red Bull Monster can, knowing it's not yours, but some fucking scumbag threw it down. I'm going to fucking pick it up because I don't want to fucking look at it.
Right.
Yep.
And then hopefully some young individual sees you picking that up, knowing it's not yours, and they're like, man, I like that. I'm going to pick that up.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to pass that on. That just a moral code of ethic to look out for the environment, look out for the waterways, to be your own conservationist. You don't have to pay somebody to be and I'm not against the conservation. I'm against them for stopping me from enjoying my natural resources. And that's my God's given right, and your God's given right, and Matt's God's given right to navigate in these skin suits, because this is our life experience. You know what I mean? We're at the height of our creation, being able to navigate in these bodies. And what a joy that is, and to have these people tell us we can't do it, and have these government agencies saying, hey, you can't do this because we're going to shut the world down because we got to fucking we want to convert everybody into this digital currency. We went behind everybody's back and decided amongst ourselves that you're going to be hooked to the computer and we're going to be underneath your skin looking for the rest of your fucking family's civilization. And you ain't going to do anything about it because we've already put this drone warfare into play. And that's the DOD directive 3000.09. Google it. These drones, they were saying, oh, there's drones and this and that. It's the same IEEE motherfuckers that are running Space Force and all this fake space shit. And those are just guys that are engineers behind the scene, behind the computers, writing code. Those are your the Galactic Federation, for instance. The Palladians. Those little fucking guys in their little spacesuit, or you know what I mean? Those blonde looking guys. They're just fucking dressed up, butt pirates in the same cult Saturn of a cult. The Cube Saturn, and they're engineers behind the computer screen.
Yep.
I can't get anybody to tell me that they're not. And it's just the same thing. They just roll this stuff out. Just from when I was, in the 70s, 1974 to 1976. They had the SLE stacks. Those were reptilians, and those were good reptilians and bad reptilians. What did they hover over? Crystals. And they had these crystals all staggered up in this little, almost like a little fucking Chinese checkerboard. And they'd move those crystals around. They only had this show on for a couple of years because they got rid of it, because it was programming to tell us what's going on. We're in the inner inertia of a flat Earth in a closed system, as above, so below, the alpha omega. You got the line and the bubble, the basketball court. You're playing right in the middle. On the are you on the positive side or the negative side of the cord? You know what I mean? When you look at it that way, when we look at this as a flat plane,
Right.
PLAIN versus PLANE. And that's the English language having meaning a couple different things, you know. So, but yeah, it's very interesting and very profound to where we're really at, you know. And
It is.
playing, and you know, and when you understand we're a battery, and that everything starts from our heart and everything works outwards, and that's our gen operator and destroyer, you know. So that'd be your positive, your negative, and your neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the 147 is the positive out of 9 numbers, you know, Rubik's Cube. 147 is positive, and that 258 is the negative, and that's the feminine, the sun, the moon, and the neutral's the 369. And those, you know, and those are the 2 pillars with God in the equation, you know. It's pretty crazy shit. Well, it's not. I mean, it's just it's letters, numbers, colors, and sound.
Yep.
And truth, you know. I suppose that's the golden triangle, is the ultimate truth, you know, for me. Probably be the one. You know, 1 + 1 is 3, which is to us is 4, because if you look at it at a quantified state, as the triangle is 3 sides with a bottom is 4. So that's 4 and 3. That's the 7, you know. Who was, I saw somebody that's kind of doing this into the signage thing too, and he's talking about 76. 76 is the occult number. And I want to show this to Matt, because a lot of people are saying these bull horns, you know, could be 11, but a lot of people are saying it's 7 because you got 5 fingers and 2, 5, 6, 7, and this is 67. Does that make any sense? 67 is the number. 6 and 7 is 13, the 13 bloodlines, and that's who they're toting for. Fuck, I don't know. You can make this shit work out in a lot of different ways, but that really one's kind of got me stumped. You know, why does everybody do these fucking bull horns? Do they even know why they're doing it?
Why do they use a bullhorn when they're speaking to a crowd? Why is it called a bullhorn?
I suppose they're rooting for ball.
Take the bull by the horns. It's the only way you beat the bull.
They took it upon themselves to put the bull by the horns and show ball.
So you got to take the bull by the horns. You got to steer the bull. Steerable.
Steerable. Yeah, man and woman are very steerable. And the child is very malleable.
Because remember, they see us as cattle, cows, heifers, black or white ones.
Ready for the harvest.
Cows.
You know. Out with the old, in with the new. We need a reset. Get those mature ones in there for vaccination, and we're in there for the slaughter. Gee, fucking haw. That's what they're doing.
Right.
We're gonna reset. And we're gonna start indoctrinating these new ones because we don't like what's going on here, and the codes getting out. We got to, we're blocking we're blocking the hydrogen the best we can. Those light codes are getting through to people, and they don't like it.
No.
And AI is counter intelligence on what we're spinning. We're making a pretty big impact as far as I'm concerned, a lot of things, but it's just a little frickin' little drop, You know what? I mean, I'm speaking for 137,000 people, in their defense, and I'm looking out for their best interests. And I guess I'm just speak the truth and not have these citizens boxed in.
Right.
And they have the right to maneuver around these lands just like you and I do anywhere else. Nobody should stop you from from using under the skin surveillance and drone technology.
No.
And that's what I was said. That's that 3009 DOD directive. People need to Google that and look that up. Because those are implemented, by acts of Congress.
Oh.
And again, that's infringing on our rights. These motherfuckers have been under treason for over 30 years because they've been logging in and out of our cellular structure, man. That's some serious shit.
Yeah.
That's rape. You're being fucking raped by these technocrats. Matt's being raped by them. My children being raped by them, and grandchildren and great grandchildren and great great grandchildren hopefully will not be raped by them anymore because they need to give us our anatomy back. That's all we're asking for. You have your shit and I'll have mine. Well, their shit's dead. But they want to take my stuff that's alive and your stuff that's alive, Matt's stuff that's alive. How fucking fair is that? Fuck you, Elon. Your money means nothing to me. Your transhumanism movement means nothing to me. And your sodomy agents, Alex Karp, Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison, head of the CIA, sodomites. They take in the ass, gentlemen, ladies, children. And now you're listening to Noah Harari. That's the head architect for the fucking sodomite agency. And he's a little sodomite. And he's telling you he's going to kill y'all. And you're hackable humans. And he's underneath your skin. And he's right. Because you're not fucking saying anything about it. That's a serious fucking deal. If you can't say anything about some little fucking sawed off sodomite telling you. I want to fucking get to him. You know what I mean? I want to fucking sodomize my fingers around Noah's neck and say, you're a fucking cunt and a faggot. And you can butt fuck anybody you want, but you're not going to butt fuck anybody, my friends and family underneath the skin with your technology.
Right.
Fuck you, Noah. Claus. Donald Trump, Albert Boyan, or whatever that frog neck is.
Borla,
and Anthony Fauci. You're all guilty of sodomy and rape with technology Mankind skin, man. 1995, 2012 was when Purdue University went live with their sentient fucking computer when everybody had a digital twin. You've already been digitized and monetized and capitalized upon by corporations and private sectors that are building these 20, 30, 15-minute cities that are getting ready for these carbon credit scores and the biodigital convergence nobody can talk about. Not even General Flynn can talk about this shit because he's a little pussy and he's bought and paid for. And he's obviously, if he's in the military, he's completely vaccinated and augmented. So who is he to be telling us to wait? You know what? The Bolsheviks fucking killed 60 million because they all sat and waited and waited and waiting for the white hats, waiting for the black, trust the plan. Q is the plan, and Q is the 17 sustainable goals that's going to fucking kill everybody. Cue that up, friends. I fell for that shit too. I fucking was following QAnon, and you know what I mean? You always want to see somebody that's going to fucking step it up. And there's always a victor on the good. The good always overcomes evil, right? Well, we're the good overcoming the evil, and the fucking evil ain't saying nothing back to us. So obviously we're doing some good.
It's a great pushback.
Wonder Twins activate form of
Jack Frost in the house. You'll feel frosty when you sit here with me. They'll feel chilly. They'll feel frosty. They'll get a burr across their ass. They're a smart ass. I don't like dumb ones. I don't like dumb asses. I prefer smart asses here.
Quantum mechanics, natural intelligence versus artificial intelligence, and I'll do it for
$1.
One drop of water for all day long.
Pow pow.
And artificial AI only gets a glass of water. I'll take a drop. AI gets a glass. How many drops of water are in a glass?
Man, I because of my background in sales and marketing, selling cars, insurance, the store. But you go back to the beginning of COVID when it first happened. There was a construction zone downtown in the center of town where it looked like there was construction happening, but there was no construction happening. And it sat like that for 6-8 months. And there's a big sign right next to the construction zone. And it said construction zone, and then the sign would blink, hurry up and vaccinate so you can.
You're kidding me. So they shut the town down and they had forced everybody to feel like they were in fault of this construction zone because they're not vaccinated.
Right.
Wow.
It's blinking on a billboard for like 6-8 months. Hurry up and vaccinate so you can relax.
How many businesses closed down because of that?
Well, I mean, the whole city just it didn't shut down, but it slowed down. It slowed down. A lot of places just went into business.
But there's people that lost
again either. It's not possible.
There's people that lost their livelihood because of that sign and because of those measures. And there's probably people that lost their life because of that.
How many people vaccinated just because they saw a sign that told them to do it? When I was doing road sales, see the commercials, Joe's Diner, the Greasy Spoon, right? You're driving down the highway, you're hungry, you see a sign that says eat at Joe's. 3 miles down the road. And by the time you get to the exit for Joe's, you've seen 3 or 4 signs that were announcing Joe's Diner. Joe's Diner 2 miles away, 1 mile away, Joe's Diner, the next exit. You get off the next exit, and there's a big blinking sign in the parking lot, Joe's Diner. Go into Joe's Diner, and the food's not great. It's not bad. It's not worse. Average food. Average food. The waitresses are average. There's nothing pretty about them. They're average. Everything about the place is average. And you ask the customers inside, why did you stop here?
My stomach told me I was hungry, and my gut told me to drive in there and eat that shit.
Yeah, that's the only reason why they're there.
Yeah, convenience, and who owns the convenience is the corporations and bankers. And we got to understand that the corporations and bankers only exist for a control mechanism,
All I did
it's war against the farmer.
All I did is put up a sign outside. I got a flag outside. I got a banner now. I put up a sign. If I get random calls, I get stops. It's all why. Because I put a sign.
Hey, you should. You need a little cooler in there and have a nice plain bottle of water in there for $1. Then when they get thirsty, they're going to come in there and get a bottle of water, and they're going to find something else to buy. Don't be selling any of that death water in there. Liquid death, I guess it is. I can't believe that shit even exists.
Is that crazy?
Fucking whole lineup of that stuff. They got like 8 different cans of different liquid death. Liquid death tea, liquid death whatever.
Yeah, they're telling you.
Right. Exactly. They're telling you.
Yeah, they're telling you they're killing your water.
Yep.
A lot of people just don't care about this stuff, man.
Oh man, I should. I mean,
I don't know why they're not concerned with it.
You got one. You got one chance to say something, one chance to stand for something right now. Now's the time to stand for something.
Die for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, no freedoms ever came at the end of giving up liberties. I mean, this is the fucking hill.
Yep.
And this is where.
Do we want a world controlled by our children or artificial intelligence?
Absolutely. Not even my mayor in town can answer that question because I've tagged her on it. Tiffany O'Donnell, she's the mayor of, I commend her. She's trying to govern 137,000 80/20s, and she's part of the 99. She's not one of the 100 telling the truth. The truth of the matter is we're building a 20, 30, 15-minute city in Cedar Rapids and in Des Moines, Marion. All these fuckers have these technologies in place. That's the blue lights. That's the cameras. That's the cell towers, and the deployment which Israel is leading the biodigital convergence. And you can look at a photo. People should look this up. The gentleman that is a welfare recipient, Benjamin Netanyahu, which is the prime minister of Israel, which is a corporation funded by the Rothschilds and the good taxpayers of the American people. He's got a photo of him, and he's got a hypodermic needle. Then he's got a bullet. Then he's got a shell and mortar. Then he's, it gets bigger. Then they got their fake nukes. You know what I mean? And that's his control mechanism to control the world. Is that going to control you or Matt? Who the fuck is Benjamin Netanyahu to be telling you can't tell him he's wrong? And he's from New York and he's Polish. And why does he need a presidential pardon? Like Anthony Fauci needed a pardon by Joe Biden, just like Benjamin Netanyahu needs a pardon, which doesn't mean anything because it was written by that fucking hedgehog or whatever that fucking Khazarian pig is over there in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever they wanted to fucking move it to. And he's on the White House letterhead, mind you, friends. Look that up. Tell me I'm wrong. I've read it. I've shared it. And I get a lot of wows. And we're underneath a coup. We're underneath a corporate technocrat coup.
If these presidents had to fight in the wars they caused and created, there'd be no wars.
Knock that fat bitch down in one fucking push.
Ain't that something though?
Yeah.
If they actually had to fight in the wars that they created and caused, they wouldn't fight no war.
They wouldn't. Because they're forced to by the next fucking sodomite that has hazed them and their fucking square box two-party system. And the only reason they're there is because they're bred to be there. And they've been bred to be there from birth. Like what you were saying, Matt, you can look at them and they're all blue bloods. You change the light spectrum on them and they'll we're gingers, we're red men. Black people are gingers, Asian people are gingers, blue bloods are blue bloods. I'm brown, you're brown, Matt's brown. We're ginger red men. We're gingerbread men. Ha. Isn't that kind of funny?
Right? Very goddamn funny.
It looks like that.
Yep. And what do they want to do? They think the ginger is going to be gone. They thought the red man was going to be gone in 100 years. And when they're talking about red hairs, they're talking about gingerbread men. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
the bread men, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us breading.
And the bread is the wheat. Not a tar, a wheat. And they're trying to turn everything into tars by transmutating and genetically modifying the wheats. And it's a war on the seed, and that's the mega 22, warp 22, speed is 22. They drove that. Mega, warp, speed, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. The fork, transhumanism, 3, 2, 2, 3 strands, 22,000 chromosomes. The queen fucking lit the courtyard up. YouTube it. People YouTube it. The 3 lights lighting up the fucking tree of life. That's AI intervening with fucking Jacob's ladder and God's You know, we have an immortal gene, and you just figure if you love numbers and there was only 9 numbers, and just ask the 9 who's right. It's as simple. That's as simple as that question,
Right?
you know. Positive, negative, neutral. You got 1 of 3 choices in a circle.
She may answer.
Positive, negative, neutral. 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. You can be a 3 in one of the 3s.
Right.
She is.
How you doing?
I'm just saying it a different way that you're saying it. I'm saying it the same way you're saying it. Because I understand the way you're saying it, and I like to say how you're saying it. You know what I mean? But in a different way that my mind says it, and hopefully other minds start saying it in a different way that I can say right, and I'm in agreement with it because of knowing the 9 and knowing the 369. It's got to start with a 9 because the mother, the father, 1 + 1 is 3. Child, and that's just God's math, and that's all you need to know.
God know the egg shape. The language around the egg. In Russia, they call it the Fabergé egg. It's a royal symbol. In China, they talk about the cosmic egg. Chicken and the egg, which came first. You know, it's an old debate.
Didn't Mork and Mindy, didn't Mork come from the egg?
Right.
Nanu, yeah.
Well,
Right.
there's something to that. I mean, that's kind of Kabbalist, I think, occult shit too, because I think Mork was a guy or a girl.
Well, we all come from an egg. I mean, we're started out seminated inside the mother's egg. Hatchlings, right? Hatchlings. I started realizing it's not evil men doing this, it's evil women, right? Some evil woman realized she could have a surrogate and hatch 1,000 eggs. Hatchlings. The queen. Hatchlings.
But they're dressed as men.
Right. Right. But they have hatchlings.
And
They figured out how to hatch their own eggs. Hatchlings.
6 and 7 is 13, and there was 13 bloodlines.
And 6 is 7 is 42 because 6 times 7 is 42. 42 is math in Kabbalah.
And the 7 rays of light on Lucifer's crown, 7 points of light, is standing on 11 points of a 7-11. You know, Lucifer's got 7 points on that crown, and it's standing on a 11-pointed star, which is interesting. You know, why is Lucifer standing on an 11-pointed star? That's the question I got for you, Matt.
Splitting 33s. 11. You got dividing. You take the points in the star and you divide it by 360, and it gives you the degree.
33.
It's reverse engineering. 12 points. 12 points is 30 degrees. You see?
11 points, 33. Man, that's pretty profound, you know. 7-Eleven.
So where you get
You
the
know.
33s and the thirds and splitting 3 ways to Sunday.
And the 7 points are the 7 nations that it's going to conquer and be as a one world order, correct?
Right.
Or who Lucifer's going to try to control, you know, the 7 points on the crown or the 7 nations under the star. And the star is one. The star is the false light of Lucifer standing on 33s on the triangle, which is, if you can look at it from the quantified state outward in, fuck, it's all right there, just in New York. York, right. What did New York used to be? I wonder. Used to be probably something pretty special.
Yeah.
I think all these towns used to be, you know, even your town, Chuck, you know, it's like all of these, our towns are just dwindled and dried up to corporations and banks and Targets and Walmarts and big box clubs and smiley face dick rockets to space and heading the firmament. And people thinking it's real. You know, I think Elon and NASA are fucking pissed off at Jeff Bezos because he tripped on the ground and that flimsy door fucking flipped in, and the girls were trying to open it from the inside out. And he, no, it'll blow our stage event up. You know what I mean? Because they went up like, I don't know, how far did that Blue Origin go up? That Jeff Bezos dick rocket they shot up there with Katy Perry, and she showed the butterfly and, you know, just MK Ultra stuff.
That was such a damn joke.
That's the MK.
This here is your Superman symbol in motion. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's your strawberry. It's a strawberry. Think about the shape of a strawberry, right? Piece of fruit, but it's shaped like a strawberry. This tunnel is tetrahedron based. Not even a square.
But it's still a 6-pointed figure. But it's in a triangular shape, you know?
Right.
Or that yellow. So that'd be another form of a 6-pointed star in a way, but it's in a triangular shape.
Right. Yeah. Shit. New York City is going rampant.
With their
the new policies are just driving everybody out of the city. Surprise! That's what they were designed to do. Surprise! That's what they were designed to do.
Exactly. You know, and you see that he's got that red little string on his arm wrist.
Mm-hmm.
He's hugging all the Zionist Khazarian Jews. And he's got a picture with George Soros' son.
Yeah.
Alex.
I mean, you know, their company, they can't hide from who, you know, these, ever since AI did all these photos and these reset at our city courthouses, you know, you'd always see a couple gentlemen, 3 or 4 gentlemen in a black suit or a top hat. Nobody knew who they were.
Right.
They were the men behind the scenes that wanted credit for the reset. You know what I mean? And they were just standing in for that photo. they're the liars, cheats, crooks, steals, murderers from the plagiarizing Puritan colonizers that stood in for the photo op. So we could talk about this today. I mean, AI has been around a long time.
Yep.
Just ain't here now. It's been here since fucking been in control a long time.
How do you
I'd explain that.
yeah. I struggle with these things because our job's not to follow orders. I don't follow orders well because I'm not under contract law. I didn't contract to be a fucking government or a public employee. I think a lot of people should be thinking that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of us signed up for this shit. We were given an inky.
And what
And a
happens
choice.
to the government working for you rather than against you? You know, the good people think the government works for their best interests. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What gave them that idea? School?
The Maxwell House.
Daddy loves you. Long time.
Maxwell House. Percolator. Maxwell MI6 was the Ghislaine Maxwell family was the ones that wrote the textbooks for the Crown. How's that for mind control? To tell that to your dad, man, my dad wouldn't like that to hear that either, but it's the truth. You know, I mean, he loved history. I love history too. I love the truth, and we're writing history because we're in the now.
Yeah. We're living in the right now.
We're speaking it. Yeah, there'll definitely will be some books to be written about these times. And hopefully they're using hemp paper and some good fucking ink to write it by hand on it, and then before they publish it again, you know, because we don't need AI to write anything.
No.
You know, AI is a whore.
I don't want to do anything that they're doing.
No, AI is a whore. AI is a natural resource whore. It's going to take energy galore and water galore, and it's going to end up taking the fucking hydrogen galore. They're going to want to harvest the sun for fucking AI. They've already been doing it because it's taking it away from us. You know, who gave them the rights to fucking block the sun? These government agencies that are fucking welfare recipients to write these fucking laws, and these like right here in town, I'm going to bring them up.
Here's one you could tell your dad, right? And that old cousin of yours, Chuck.
Yeah.
In the old world, the king's head was anointed in oil, right? You know those stories about Saul anointing the king in oil?
Yep.
Right.
Well, it used to be. Do you know what was in that oil? Did they tell you? Because you know, it's just funny. It's cannabis. Dab oil. They were using dabs in that oil. Concentrates of cannabis, extract of cannabis, extract of frank and cinnamon. You mix all these ingredients up, and then you douse the king's head in it. That's
might give him a little buzz.
Yeah. You might see a flaming, burning bush like Moses did.
Yeah.
It causes to create some sort of psycho reaction. You know,
Yeah,
It's a chemical reaction, but it's soaking into the skull direct.
and cinnamon is, cinnamon's a pretty powerful agent in itself.
Right. So all these
Quite
things,
an herb.
and honey too. So it's a thick oil is what you need to understand. So when they put this on your head, you can't just wash it out.
Wow, and you're absorbing that.
Right.
Huh. Interesting.
All
That's the flaming bush recipe, huh? Try it. You might like it.
or what about Moses clam baking or hot boxing? The hippies would tell you about clam baking and hot boxing, running around in a burn run in a clam baking car. We all know what we're talking about. But these nomads, they had clam baking tents. Okay. They perfected the art of hot boxing, or rather they invented it. They have a roundhouse, a sweat lodge, your sweat lodge, right? It's just a dome covered with tent with furs. They custom fit a fur to fit the dome, and they carry it on the road with them. It's just a collapsible tent. And they put a fireplace in there and a heart rock in the center of that fucking fire pit, and burn it up and get that rock really damn hot. And then they slap a fucking brick of hash on that rock, and they all go in that room.
Puff it up, huh?
Right. Clam bacon. Bunch of goddamn nomadic pothead.
Oh, that. I mean, they had their
But they
power with
don't
them.
want to hear about Moses smoking marijuana.
Yeah, they smoke because rope. It was the clothes. They wore it.
Right.
They not only wore it.
We never weren't smoking it. AI is trying to prevent you from smoking it.
Yeah, look at Donald Trump now. He's like, hey, you can't. I mean, they just distract and control. They just try to get anybody that's on it, any type of doing anything, whether it be alcohol or shit. They just try to disrupt the system.
So wild. They always do the opposite of what they say they're going to do.
Yep.
Peace is war. We're at peace. Now we're at war.
Yeah.
This is what we got to watch out for now. They're fucking stewing and brewing.
They're trying to cause civil war.
Yep.
And I thought states had rights to govern themselves. And wouldn't this be a federal overreach banning THC the way they want to do it in this new big beautiful bill?
Well, they're the largest drug dealers in the fucking world. What's going on? Let's ban fucking Pfizer. You know what I mean? I don't care. Okay, let's ban marijuana. Let's ban Pfizer. Fair enough. We're going to ban all pharmaceuticals if we're going to ban the fucking fake marijuana. We're not going to ban the real marijuana because that's God's flower and that comes from the earth. And they can't take that from us because that's ours.
Right.
They can try to govern it and tell us that, but I am going to tell them to fuck off. I'm going to go eat fucking dandelions and
if God didn't want you to have cannabis, God wouldn't have put it here in the first place.
And how are you supposed to make your clothes? I mean, I think they made everything with it.
They did. They made paper. The Constitution is written on hemp paper. Hello. They made hemp paper, and it makes me think about a scene in Waterworld where the guy's like, look what I got. And he pulls out a jar. And I got paper.
Big nautical rope was probably made out of hemp rope, wasn't it? Those huge fucking.
Right. people don't understand you generate fibers and pulp from cannabis from the plant. You know, like I said, the plant itself, a Rasta man like myself recognizes how to use every part of the plant, not just the
I
bud.
know. I mean,
Trim,
how does a fucking hemp t-shirt?
the trim is butter, and the stalk and the branches. You know, people just want to throw that stuff away. I'm like, no, well, it depends on where you are. If you're a farmer, then you can feed it to your chickens and your cows. Chop it up into the grain; they'll eat it.
Just need a chopping unit to chop that stalks up, blend it with their oats or whatever they're feeding it.
Yeah, they'll eat it. Just got to be broke down a little bit, grind it.
Well, then that would be a super chicken.
Right. Like you said, having cannabis, they tasted eggs. Imagine what your chickens taste like if they're eating cannabis.
Yeah.
Because you are what you eat. And this is the whole
Mhm.
idea of controlling what they're eating because you're eating them, right? But you're controlling their diet. The meat's only as good as what you feed it, you know? But that's a lot of people will tell you to eat red meat only, you know, to just eat beef. But it's not just beef that's implied here. Elk is red meat, deer is red meat, moose is red meat.
Yeah, I've given it up for a couple of years. I'm fine. I don't have any issues with it. No, I actually had a burger at Tornadoes down there, and he makes a really good burger. We started in 2000 making this. He started he started pounding about 20, patting about 20 pounds of burger a week. Now they hand patty 800 pounds a week.
Wow.
Hand patty them, and Tom started, he's fought off the city 2 or 3 times. They've tried to flood him out and tried to kill him too. And he's a man of God and he knows what's going on, and he doesn't even have any of this technology. He doesn't need it, It's pretty amazing. But yeah, but that's some pretty neat. Everybody's got those stories and friends and their family, and we need to talk about them. It's fucking government's trying to get everybody into the box. They're underneath the skin, man, and we want our human anatomy back, and I think that's important for people to talk about and tell these motherfuckers to give us the remote control back so we can smash it. Because I don't want some fucking hack fucking dipshit
Right.
figuring out your code and shutting you down just because they're a fucking asshole.
Right.
They're remote controlling people.
Right.
And these are jobs, and they're fucking doing it for, they're hurting good people. Anna was targeted. They think we have friends that are targeted by that shit, and it's just uncalled for. I mean, who deserves that? Wow.
Nobody.
Nobody. And that's what we're fucking fighting for, man. And I know Anna can hear us now, just like your brother can fucking hear what you're saying, because two-thirds of 1% out of 99%
Right.
is your eye, and that's that Lucifer's sigil,
Yeah.
that angles that I sent you, and that's the 5 and the 5 and 5 and 5 is that the Lucifer angles that we were seeing through our visual cortex.
Me.
And each side's independent, you know what I mean? Each side's independent because this left eye is using the right cortex of the brain, and the left cortex of the brain is using the right eye, and that's where you're getting those crossing light patterns, you know what I mean? which they're using it, you know, I mean, they're using it to show like an evilness, but it's actually just our human anatomy too, you know.
Wow.
But yeah, we need to
Keep speaking on it.
keep exposing Pfizer, you know, keep exposing corporations and bankers. You know, who now they're trying to make a 50-year mortgage so these millennials can buy a house, you know.
That's
It's ridiculous. I don't want to see them handcuffed into 50 years, you know.
what it is too, boy.
But you know, like probably when you bought your first house, the interest rates were 7, 8, 9% too. You know, we survived through those, and we bought houses on pennies on the dollar too, and gave it all to them in interest rates. And
I bought one back cheap when I was I bought my first one when I was 19. It was, easy back then.
yeah, it was a lot easier.
I don't have it now, but
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, those price houses have doubled almost. They haven't quite tripled since then, but
yeah, like Matt said, you get one now, you'll probably never ever own it.
yeah.
These the kids coming up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna head over here. I'm supposed to pick up some salmon today. I'm gonna have some salmon patties. Yeah.
Nice. I need to get rolling here too. I'm gonna run down and get some breakfast rolling and get
That's
on.
me. I haven't ate yet. Well, I ate 2 eggs this morning, but I'm getting kind of hungry. Have planned to run salmon for the past week or so, but I'm gonna try to make it happen today.
Nice. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I'll be back on here though.
All right. Well, I'll wait. I'm gonna wait around here for a few minutes so Matt comes back, and I'm gonna peel out too. So.
All right. He might be able to hear me or whatever, but Matt, you might want to keep an eye on that today, tomorrow. I'd say it should be popping. Let him know,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be there.
Later, yeah. It went out Friday, so
yeah.
Friday, Saturday. I don't know if it runs Sunday, but I'd say today or tomorrow he should get it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. I'll be hollering at you today.
All right.
Wait, Dick, you have a good day, man.
Yep. You too. Good talking to you.
You too. Always.
See ya.
I could hear you guys.
Yeah, Chuck had to take off, and I gotta get rolling here too. I'm gonna go downtown and get a little something to eat and up with some more. Try to come up with some more content to talk about.
I will do, man. Will do.
Cool. Yeah, it was good chatting with you.
Thank you, man. This was a good conversation. Yep. We all learned something today.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Take care. We'll see ya.
See ya.